Hey guys, it's Christy, and today I'm going to film part 3 of books that I have been sent or won, so aka books I haven't paid for. The first book we have is a book that I won on a raffle from Bookish First, and it is called Mr. Tender's Girl, and it is by Carter Wilson. Looks like this. So as I did last time, you guys seem to like when I just read the back. It says, how far are you willing to go for Mr. Tender? At 14, Alice Hill was viciously attacked by 2 of her classmates and left to die. The teens claimed she was a sacrifice for a man called Mr. Tender, but that could never be true. Mr. Tender doesn't exist. His sinister character is pulp culture fiction created by Alice's own father in a series of popular graphic novels. Over a decade later, Alice has changed her name and is trying to heal, but someone is watching her. They know more about Alice than any stranger could, her scars, her fears, and the secrets she has kept locked away. She can try to escape her past, but Mr. Tender is never far behind. He will come with a smile that seduces and a dark whisper in her ear. Inspired by a true story, this gripping thriller plunges you into a world of haunting memories and unseen threats, leaving you guessing until the harrowing end. So yeah, I'm almost done with this book. I'm like here. Literally a couple more pages left. It's really, really, really good. The twists are unbelievable. Like literally I saw none of them coming. So this one is highly recommended from me. We have Oreo being our little helper today. This is another book that I won from a Bookish First raffle, and it's called Your One and Only, and it is by Adrian Finley. And the little like thing in the front says, there is nothing more human than love. This book sounds so good. In 2407, humans are a thing of the past. Jack is the only genuine human in existence. It's been hundreds of years since the human race died off in the slow plague, leaving the Homo factus, which means the man-made, behind to carry on civilization. Over time, they've perfected their genes, moving further away from the imperfections of humanity. While Jack longs for acceptance, Althea 310 struggles with the feeling that she's different from her sisters, a dangerous idea when they all share thoughts and emotions. Her fascination with Jack doesn't help. When the town is rocked by a series of attacks, Jack is the first and only suspect, but appearances can be deceiving. And when everybody looks the same, knowing who can be trusted is anything but simple. Sounded really interesting, and I put in and I won, so yeah, obviously there'll be reviews on all of these books too on my blog at some point. This next one I was sent by the author, and it's called Cauldron's Bubble, A Witch's Curse, An Enchanted Island, and the Magic of Shakespeare, an original novel by Amber Elby. It looks like this. Magical bubble transports Alda through time and space to a realm of witches and curses, pirates and princes, and the lost world of Shakespeare. She, along with a cabin boy called Dreng, must navigate conflicts and characters of Macbeth, Hamlet, and The Tempest. But will they escape their lives, or will they become lost and forgotten? Sounds pretty interesting to me. And the next one I was also sent by the author. I was contacted by his publicist to review his first book, and I really enjoyed it, so she asked if I wanted to read the second, and I said of course, and it is The Last Straw by Ed Duncan. I'm going to read the back of this one because it seems that it doesn't give anything away, and if it does, I will just like cut out that part. So, it started with a run-of-the-mill carjacking. An inner-city kid with no priors and experience with a handgun fumbled the ball and the driver ended up dead. Unfortunate for all concerned, but not uncommon. But there was more. A lot more. A teenage girl witnessed the whole thing, and a Chicago crime boss with no apparent motive was willing to move heaven and earth to prevent her from testifying. But why? No one knew except him, and he didn't have to say. Richard Rico Sanders was the crime boss's first choice for the job. He was the best in the business, but there was a problem. He was a killer with a conscience, and a killer with a conscience doesn't murder teenagers. John D'Angelo, the crime boss's second choice, had no qualms. There was bad blood between him and Rico, so knowing that Rico had passed on the job, he eagerly accepted it. Then he bungled it by mistakenly killing the girl's father. Paul and Rico, from different sides of the tracks, had an unusual history together. A year earlier, Paul had saved Rico's life, and Rico hadn't forgotten. So when a vengeful D'Angelo, with help from 2 Confederates, set his sights on both men, they were drawn together in an uneasy alliance against a common foe. So in the first book, Richard Rico Sanders was the main character. So it sounds like they are introducing a new character, which is exciting. The next book I was sent for a blog tour, and it is called The Invisible Hand, Shakespeare's Moon, Act 1, and it's by James Hartley. The Invisible Hand is about a boy, Sam, who has just started his life at boarding school and finds himself able to travel back in time to medieval Scotland. There he meets a girl, Leanna, who can travel to the future, and the two of them become wrapped up in events in Macbeth, the Shakespeare play, and in the daily life of school. The book is the first part of a series called Shakespeare's Moon. Each book is set in the same boarding school but focuses on a different Shakespeare play. So I guess I'm having a little interest in Shakespeare lately because that's the second one. And the last book that I was sent was, again, for a blog tour, and it is called Times and Places by Keith Anthony, a quietly moving novel about loss and faith. 10 years after his daughter Justine's death, an anxious Fergus embarks on a cruise with his wife. On board, he meets a myriad of characters and is entranced by some, irritated by others, and disgusted by one. These turbulent feelings, combined with a sequence of bizarre events, only lead to his increased anxiety. In a series of flashbacks, Justine enjoys an ultimately short romance. A woman concludes she killed her, and an investigating police officer is drawn into her idyllic world. Fergus, haunted by poignant memories, withdraws in search of answers. Back on the cruise, Fergus reaches breaking point, fearing he has done something terrible. By the time the ship returns, his world has changed forever. Times and Places spans Atlantic islands, the Chiltern countryside, Cornish coast, and rural Sylvania, all of which provide spectacular backdrops to a humorous and moving tale of quiet spirituality. Sounds pretty interesting. Look at this. We have Oreo literally sleeping in the background. Oh, he bumps his head up. Oh, and he's here. Look at those ears. Look at those ears. Come here, you want to come say bye? Come on, come say bye. Give the people what they want. Oh, he says bye, everybody. We'll see you for the next one. Bye. Oh, one more? Oh, one more. He's not done yet.